Hello and welcome to our next podcast episode, number 3, Queens of Business podcast. And here you can listen about honest business talk. I'm a naturopath and my Vistic skincare founder, Maili Skivistik. And with me here is lovely.
Kira, coach, mentor, consultant, your person.
And today's topic is really good in my head, but let's see, what do you think when you listen to it? Feel free to comment, send us messages, share your thoughts. We are super happy to read them and continue discussing. But the topic is lone wolf or a team player, navigating work dynamics, meaning how do you work best? And can we say that everybody has to work in a big office, or can we say that everybody can stay at home and work alone? So, what's your take, Kira, on this? Have you always been ready to go to the office, or do you need half and half time, or how do you work the best?
That's so funny because when I was having teams, working in teams and with and leading teams, I was enjoying it, and at the same time was very um, leader in a way. Like I liked independency, and I like that individual alone part of it. And only when becoming entrepreneur, solopreneur, I realized how much I miss team and that sort of dynamic. So I would say both for me. I really, really not only enjoy but need both.
That is really interesting because I'm pretty opposite. Like, I remember when I went to a new job, for example, and they asked me to be at the office 5 days a week. And I was upset. I was seriously upset, thinking, how can I manage being there 5 days per week, 8 hours a day? It's too much because I'm the person who works best in silence.
Mhm.
And it doesn't even mean that let's put music off, but it actually means I can't listen to other people while I am concentrating. And this is hard for some people because they like to speak, they like to share thoughts, and then their work processes get better. But for me, it's like, no, you're throwing me off the curve, and now I need to work double because I didn't do what I wanted to do.
Mhm. I get what you mean. I get what you mean, and I had that experience as well. So let me share experience in two companies.
Hmm.
Actually, quite well. We are familiar with these companies. I was working in German Siemens, and I didn't like it. I mean, I liked my job, but I didn't like that 5 days a week being at the office. And you said 8 hours. Well, even more. It's
Hmm.
even more than that. But then when I moved to Nokia, I found myself happy being in corporate because there was a policy that you can have a satellite working without going to office or occasionally going to office. That was before COVID, long before COVID. Uh, and at that time, I was very happy being in that position. That was that dynamic that is that I believe it is good for person and it might be good for business if doing right.
Yeah, exactly. It's doing right. Because if I'm thinking now, I have been building my business almost 5 years now. And it depends if you're working for someone or you're working for yourself. Because I think 2 years ago was my ceiling when I realized I need to go out more, like to networking events, like to conferences, to find good collaboration partners. Because if you're working alone, in home or some other place, you don't get new connections. And
Mhm.
if you're only seeing your ideas on daily basis, the development stops, or you develop your products or services only from your point of view. But if you can network or speak with other people, you can do so much more and so much faster time. So in that sense, like you said, teams and alone, they're both equally needed.
But listen to this. Let me just ask you one thing. You said, how long ago did you move? Did you shift a little bit to this more of
About 2 years ago.
2 years ago? That makes sense. You know why? In the first 3 years, 2 to 3 years, you are definitely in a strong surviving mode.
Yeah.
And in surviving, you don't deal so much with back end parts. And back end parts is systems and teams collaboration and support of any kind. You have to be more focused into surviving, meaning the front end customers,
Mhm.
either potential customers, well, existing and potential customers. You have to pay bills, you have to survive, right?
Yeah.
And first of all, congratulations, because 5 years of entrepreneurship, well, you you know the statistics. We know the statistics,
Yeah.
um, and I'm going to be very motivational. And I would say that according to data, uh, only like 25% succeed to 15 years.
Mhm.
um, and when we talk about 3, 4, 5 years, it's like 50% or less succeeding. So it's quite tough game, and I'm calling it a
Oh,
game.
yeah. Business world is tough. No matter when we start or we think like, oh, this is the era where everything is so nice and easy. It's never that. It's just the illusion that we think it's
Mhm.
super easy, right?
And in a way, in entrepreneurship, but in business as well. But in business, you get it in corporate business. Sorry, I'm talking about corporate and entrepreneurship, but both businesses,
Mhm.
completely different businesses. And in corporate, like you get to play team and collaborative games much earlier than in entrepreneurship. You have to earn it in a way, your tickets, to be having time and energy and resources to go into that collaborative mode more. That's my
Yeah.
view. What do you think about it?
Well, I agree with that. But also, like, if you're an entrepreneur, sometimes the borders get mixed up. Like, you start to think that your business is you, and as soon as you start to communicate with other people or find collaboration partners and they say something that, oh, this should be different or this doesn't work that good, you feel offended automatically, even though you can even notice that these two things are separate, but you still feel it. You're like, you just said that to me. So
Ah,
that's really interesting.
hmm. Yeah, interesting part. But a long time ago, I realized that successful business people have to have a less ego than normal
Mhm.
person. I would say not so much interested in business success. That
That is
sounds
true. Totally agreed.
strange because many people would say, no, that's not correct. A successful business person is an arrogant person. Um, idea of many people is like that.
But I think this is true as well. It now depends. Like there is like a mid-level business person, and then there's like a successful business person. And I think the mid-level one who actually wants to get to this good level, high-level business world, they are a bit arrogant because they are thinking, okay, I'm so cool, I'm doing this. But actually, the better you are in your field, there's a lot of people in the world who are so humble. You can't even like you're so surprised when you realize they are real people and they are so nice. They are not like talk to the hand, I'm that, or something like this.
Yes. Have you seen the movie Wall Street? What's the name? Wall Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I know that many people, many guys, have this idea of that is success. Although
Hmm.
it doesn't portray it that way, but still, it's quite a significant percentage of people who sees business success like who see business success like that. and they aspire to become like the main actor, Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie.
I actually agree with that point as well, because I have some friends who have sent me the clips of this video and saying like, "Oh, this is the good business perspective," and yeah, for some it is.
Yeah, so where is then the truth? Is it then the arrogance or it is ego down?
I think this is the ultimate question, and it's again hard to answer because sometimes you need a bit of arrogance because otherwise people start to use you, and you need to like. I don't think it's often arrogance, but this is just direct borders that we set, and then for somebody else, it feels like, oh my god, you're so rude, but
Mhm.
maybe you're not rude. Maybe you're just protecting your space.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Talking about boundaries in business and private, right? Yeah. And you know what I find funny? Uh, Many people as well thinking being entrepreneur, being in business is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is an ugly part of it that first it is lonely, being tough, having all these sorts of issues going at the same time, and not so many people that you can discuss and that can understand what's going on, because it's basically your private battle as well, and then battle on the market in a way, and be really, really tough and lonely. And then later to the people, it seems cool.
Yeah, and it seems like overnight success, right?
Yeah,
Wow, look what you did. And it's like, nope, it's like 10 years of my work, hard work.
yeah, yeah. When you think about when you started 5 years back and where you are now, it's completely different position, right?
Oh, yeah. And I would also add, if I would know what this journey would bring on my way, I would have never started. And I think this is with a lot of people.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. And now this is the funny fact. If I would be having a euro or a dollar for every time I hear that from an entrepreneur, I would be having
You would be rich.
like I feel rich already, but I would be like 10x.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. But still, you wouldn't change it, right?
No.
Yeah, that's a funny fact. And then I think that this is the factor that is differentiating successful one than the other ones. The thought is the same. Like, oh, if I would knew this, I wouldn't do it. Like, in a way, like thought, but
Mhm.
still, then the successful one will be saying, yeah, I will still do it.
Yeah, because it doesn't actually matter what happens with the business idea or the service idea, but it's more related to what happens to the entrepreneur itself, like how you grow or how I grow, and what is changing in my mind and like in my reality when I'm on that journey. And this is the best self-development program you can ever be on.
Yes, yes, we agree on that completely. Does it mean that money doesn't matter to you?
Actually, a long time it didn't matter because I have done a lot of stuff for free. And my mission was in the beginning like, let's help everybody to see nature and choose like healthy skincare. But I realized that not everybody is even open to understand it or listen. So, in that sense, that wasn't logical that I will put my energy there where it's not actually appreciated.
Mhm.
And this is true when people buy workshops or products, they are more open to listening, they are more opening up to change their habits and patterns. And of course, money is needed to develop new products, to go to new markets, to travel to different flea markets, for example, or events. You want to sell your products. So it's all connected. I can't say money is not important. Money is fuel.
Mhm. And let's now think about it. I completely agree with you. When you love your business, when you start to appreciate and understand your business, then you have sorts of well obligation toward the business. responsibility towards the business, and it is to earn money, so the business is alive, that you can support people in whatever area or segment you are working in.
Mhm.
What does it mean, like when you talk about lone wolf or working in teams? How do you see money in that dimension, in that dynamic?
Well, I think you can be a lone wolf. Nowadays world, it's possible. You can outsource a lot of services to freelancers, but we all want to be part of community, to belong somewhere, and it's so much more fun and more also deep if you have a team. It doesn't have to be like 50 people or 100 people. It can be like 3 people or 4 people. Everybody does their own areas like marketing, finances, they're all divided, but they all want to work for common goal. And this generates the energy that actually fuels the business, fuels the people, and also generates money, because the more you earn, the more you can divide it, and people do better work, the more they get the finances, right? It's like the full circle.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And yet I find it interesting that it doesn't actually, statistically, doesn't make a difference whether you are like solopreneur or a small business owner. I would think differently. Like I would say, oh yeah, it's generating more money, more ideas, more diversity, more brains, brain trust.
Mm-hmm.
And yet success rate of these companies, well, the survival rate then is the same, on the same level, similar, same. I guess the difference comes on that other stage of thriving
Mm-hmm.
or getting bigger and bigger, because there are certain limits of how much you can achieve by yourself uh, and how much you can achieve with a village or a town or more.
Yeah, but mm, this is the good side, that yes, you need to expand, but there is also the negative side, that if you start to outsource these procedures, no matter if it's for a service or a product, it might not be the same high level as you started with. And then your customers can complain, because it's not possible to be there guarding every step on the way. There will be mistakes, and you need to be ready to accept them if you are the business owner.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I don't like to eat in one famous fast food chain restaurant, famous around the world. And no need to name it, right? But one thing that did good is making sure that the process and the quality would be the same or almost the same in all of their venues so around the globe. First US and then the globe.
Yeah.
It's a business success by itself.
But how do you see it? Like, if you would go back to the beginning,
Mhm.
would you change the fact that you started alone? Would you like to start with some partner together, like let's say 2 people starting in coaching business, or would you still go alone?
Okay, so I did had that idea because I made my self assessment, and I knew where I thrive the best. But at the same time, this idea, thinking, belief that even belief that I would like to start with someone, that I would like to be company like more
Mm-hmm.
people all, to begin with, was holding me back for quite some time. And only when I accepted fully that I need to go to this phase of individual and lone wolf, both in some ways, collaboration started to happen in quite interesting and nice ways. I believe that it goes in stages, and of course, as a project, sometimes it's needed alone, sometimes it's needed team. But in this initial phase, I think that when we talk about entrepreneurship, we just need to go to the space of feeling alone, even if not being alone.
Yeah, like before my brand now, I did different business ideas, started to build some business ideas. And I always had another person with me because I was afraid to do it alone. Probably that was the main thing. But I was also thinking, like, oh, if there's two people, then we have different tasks that we are good at and it will grow faster. That was then like a cover up story. Although I know
that was my idea as well.
Yeah, because the point was that I was afraid to do it alone. Like we all have these small voices in our head, like maybe you don't succeed, maybe this is not the best idea. And a lot of people never try because the voices get through to them. But when you start trying, you can actually see that this was just like fear talking. That wasn't real at all. And when I finally realized that, okay, this thing I want to do alone, that was a massive shift. So that's why it's good to try both ways and not say like, okay, solo is better than squad. No, not always. Whatever works for you, you need to know it yourself, but just test it out, maybe with some random idea to see, can you even work with a team? Are you like able to listen to the other person? Like even when me and Kira are like speaking, we might have different opinions, although when we're speaking here it seems like we're like, oh yeah, I agree, like everything is in balance. But sometimes we don't, and we still communicate with each other like, oh, I see it that way, and then the other person sees that this way. And if you can do that, then it's super easy to work with other people. But there's a lot of people who can't, and they are thinking that they are the know-it-all people, and then it's get difficult.
Yeah, and now I say I completely agree. And I'm still as well. I'm still thinking and processing. We never shared this, but actually we have the same experience of this idea of two people better than one, or three people better than one, and then you just need to go to this phase by yourself. So interesting. I would say flexibility. Yeah, just to add on what you said, flexibility and adaptability is part of that balance.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to, very, very, very important in entrepreneurship, to be accepting whatever is in your on your path at that moment, and be fast in accepting it and adapting to it.
I like how you said flexibility because I went to the yoga class today. I didn't give a class, I went to the class. And that's why the connection here is obvious. I hear a lot of people that complain, I'm not flexible enough. That's why I'm not coming to try out yoga. But the same thing applies in business. If you already know you are not flexible in your body, how can you actually run a business and be flexible there? They're all connected.
I agree, and that's another interesting thing. Like both of us, besides bringing on our own businesses and having our businesses, entrepreneurship, we are as well yoga teachers, and I attended a class as well uh, by another colleague of mine. So same in business, we need to collaborate and cooperate, and as well. No matter being a coach, mentor, still need coach and mentors. Being a naturopath, still so nice to go to some other person for any type of face therapy or
Mhm.
yeah. That's collaboration as well, and working and creating from the field that there are no competitors in that way, at least for our niche.
That is actually a really difficult topic Maybe we should do another podcast on that, like,
Yeah, I agree. I agree on that one.
because you can always say that competition doesn't matter, do the thing from your heart, but it still annoys you when you see the competitor doing the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. This is really, really interesting topic, and we can talk about it more. Um, and about flexibility, adaptability, and I would say resilience is as well very, very important. No matter a lone wolf or a team player, but one of the main things that people make mistake about resilience is thinking that it is a lone wolf. And resilience actually is the entire support system behind,
Mm.
and realizing that you don't need to do everything by yourself. And in that way, of course, taking care that you don't get burnout, and that frustration doesn't go over all over you.
Yeah, I think this is easier to notice when you work in a team, because then your colleagues can tell you, oh, you look so tired today, or something is off. Can I support you? But when you work solo, it's sometimes hard to tell yourself to rest and recharge, because you have a long task list. You are motivated to do the things, and the burnout can come faster.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. These are these expectations like, oh, it's going to be cool being entrepreneur, and then it is lonely. And same, same here. It's going to be a lot of freedom, a lot of vacation days, and at the end, person is working 24/7 and not having vacation in the first 3-4 years of business.
Yeah, or if you take vacation, you feel guilty.
Mhm, mhm. So, and still connected, being connected to your why, still making you, yeah, I will do it again, right?
Yeah,
May I say, I mean, do you agree when I say that not a normal person would make that kind of decision to be living as an entrepreneur after all is said? So
yeah,
let's say
I
that,
totally agree.
yeah, say that
Well, you mentioned the statistics before. So the statistic in general for the first year entrepreneurs is that 80% fail or quit. So this shows that not normal people will start it and continue it.
yeah, and then that's quite an interesting dynamic as well. We are talking about about dynamics today, and then you have to have reasons. You have to be reasonable person, grounded person, pragmatic person, and at the same time, you need to be crazy visionary
Mhm.
and imaginary and living in the future. Well, living from the future, I would say. And I would
Yeah,
say, in that sense of our topic, even if you are like a lone wolf at this point, you have to have that vision of your team or collaborations calling you from the future, if that makes sense, what I just said.
totally.
Okay.
But sometimes this is the hardest part, because if you do long working days with regular customer support tasks or finances, or something that is so dry and dull, it's so hard to be the visionary and know what you want after 2 years or 10 years.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. When working in teams in corporate, a work-life balance, or however it's called in these days,
Mhm.
uh, is an important topic. And not so much when you are a solopreneur, a small business owner, uh, then this is the topic neglected. Like
Yeah,
work and life become the same. And you mentioned earlier that not being the good thing. So how to do it? How to work 24/7, being a lone wolf, and at the same time have a work-life balance?
that's the ultimate question. Whoever knows the answer can comment.
How did you do? Would
Well,
you change? Would you change anything in that domain? What learnings you might have?
I think now I'm in the good space, but like first 2 3 years, it was hectic. I worked like 12 to 14 hours a day, every day.
How much?
Mm,
12 to 14. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and I didn't take
You
time
say every
to,
day. Does it mean Saturday and Sunday
yeah,
as well? Okay.
all days, yeah, because there was so many things to do, and I got migraines. I didn't have time to work out. I gave my classes, but I didn't take my time to go to my class and focus on my body. And when I realized all that, I understood that something has to change. So first, I just added one gym day to my calendar a week. And with few weeks, I already saw how much this gives. And now it's like every week I have 2 to 3 classes for me, and then the rest comes. And also the morning time, because I like to do these things in the morning. Some people like in the evening, like face yoga, um, taking care of the lymphatic system, drinking water with some herbs. And I also do breaks because who knows human design? Projectors need breaks. Otherwise, we burn out, like I said. I didn't know it before. But changing that changed a lot. Like I work from the morning until noon. Then it's my dandelion root coffee time. Sometimes it's 1 hour, sometimes it's half an hour. If it's half an hour, then I can take my dogs and go for a short walk to get the sunshine. And then I can work again. And I actually do these walks more in the day, like in the evening. I can work like 9 p.m., it's fine for me, but it means that I can stop in the middle of the day. And this has really influenced me first, like my emotions and my balance part, but the work as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about you?
Uh, I would say same. I would say that when I was successfully working in corporate, I never neglected the me time. And I even would take a break in the middle of the working day to make myself an exercise, like going for a class, kickboxing class, and then just continue my working day. And it was needed. I would never think about it. And massages, I would take regular massages um, at the end of the weekend. That just made me realize that even when we think that we are alone, we have a team to take care of. So, if the leader or a lone wolf is our brain, our mind, body is a team player, part of the team. Of course, there is like as well. Then check with your body, with your heart, with your however we call that part of ourselves. But we are all the time team players. And we should never neglect our team if we want to not only be successful, but be satisfied in life and healthy.
That is well said.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
all.
this is actually the proper time to pull our ends together
Yeah.
and leave you with that thought that actually, no matter if you're a solopreneur or working in teams, you always have to look after yourself first, because then your focus is better, your results are better, and you are a better person in general to speak with, to brainstorm with.
Here, here.
So, thank you if you listened to us or if you watched us in YouTube. Come see the previous episodes as well. Next time, a new topic. If you have any kind of ideas or thoughts that you would like to share with us, send us a message. We will definitely look them over, reply to you. And we really want to make this podcast worth your while, because this is really honest business talk. No bullshit here.
Here. I would so much like to get some comments, that we read the comments and hear what other experiences are the same, different. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you, Kira, for joining with me today to discuss this interesting topic. And let's enjoy the summer.
Yeah. See you soon.